Good morning, guys. This is Ida. I just wanted to share with you what I'm working on. Um, I don't know if this is a good angle, but I'll do my best. I'm in a swap with Miss Carolyn, who is Tea Time and Dolls here on YouTube. And our swap is a tag flip book. But besides that, I wanted to do something different for her. When I swap with anybody, whether it's with Miss Tamika in a whole group or individual, I like to give it my all. And I think about what that person likes or what the name of their YouTube channel says to me, or when I watch their videos, what I see in that person or what that person likes. So I've seen videos of, when Carolyn is redoing her craft room, and I know she loves Shabby Chic. So, besides our regular things that we decided we were going to do, I wanted to find something to house everything in because, I don't work very well on my presentation as far as little individual packages go. But to put something that is going to house it permanently, hopefully, that's where I like to put all my effort in because, the little plastic bags and toppers and all that are pretty. But a lot of times it gets ruined, thrown away, or whatever. So I like to really spend my time on, on the bigger box that it's going to house, hopefully, and be used more than one time. So this is what I created to house our swap in. And our swap is not even that much. It's like a tag flip book, a couple of altered charms, and I believe it's like two embellishments, and our tag flip book had to have, well, it didn't have to, she's really good about, just do what you want, Ida, there's no pressure here. So I like that. And she gave me a big time frame to do it in, but I like to get my stuff done. And when my mind starts working, I can't just sit on it. I have to do something. So I had bought this box at the thrift store. And I didn't pay very much for this box. And this box is actually to store like cards that people give you, birthday cards and all kinds of sentiment cards. And it was brand new. It had never been used. Everything was still in the package inside. So, and I only picked it up for, I'm going to say maybe $3 or $4. It wasn't very much. I got it at the local Goodwill. But my mind started working, and this is what I came up with. Let me turn it a little bit, hopefully give you a better angle. And I'm sorry about the mess on my desk, but when I create, this is how my desk gets. And I actually had to move stuff out of the way to put the box in here because my work spot gets smaller and smaller and smaller as I work. So this is what I created. I had bought this die right here, the teacup and the teapot, a while back, and I hadn't really used it at all. So I remembered that I had that, and I had bought a brand new stamp set with cups and different verses, like scripture verses, like taste and see that the Lord is good. May your cup runneth over. And it had the cups to go with it, and it had the little handles to go with it. So because her channel is Tea Time and Dolls, and I know she loves gorgeous girls, this is what I created for her. And I know she likes shabby chic. So the box is pretty much saying what her name is. So and the new stamps that I got with the dies actually cuts out coffee and tea. Real fine, so pretty, very elegant, the scripture, the font. So it just says tea, and of course here's the teapot pouring the tea into the cup, and here's the shabby part. And then I put a clock, so it's tea time, and I painted the clock with, this is the Tim Holtz Sizzix Bigs die, and I painted it with white gesso, and then I repainted it with gesso, but the second time around, I added the sand in it to make it like it's rusty or bubbly up, so it'll have a texture. And before that dried, I sprinkled some diamond glaze, I think diamond dust, this stuff on there. And it's not real heavy. It's got a little shine to it, but it's not overly done or anything. But I love the texture that it left on here. And then I have Stampin' Up! Has a big font dies that you use, and it comes with like the hashtag, the and all these other things. And so my color scheme is pinks, different shades of pink and gold. So I altered the handle, like I pieced it together. I didn't alter it, I pieced it together, and I cut it out once in the rose pattern, and I did add glossy accents so it would look like china. And then I cut it again in the metallic gold, because a lot of times china is trimmed with either a gold or a silver rim or trim. So that's what I did to here. The top, I did it in the metallic gold, and the handle as well, and the word T. The clock, I left it white and kind of tried to shabby it up some. And then the and, I did that in the metallic gold as well. And then I remember that I had bought this little stamp, and I had forgotten about it. I had pulled out another Gorgeous Girl doll, and I was watching some videos, like trying to get some ideas, like how to make it look really soft and shabby. And I ran across somebody that had this die, and I remembered that I had bought that. And it's retired now, and I did pay quite a bit, because I just bought it here in the past maybe year, if not, maybe not even. And I had never used it. So I have a little collection of Gorgeous Girls going on. So I pulled it out, and I thought that's perfect for her box. So it's T, time is the clock, and dolls. The tag here, I'm actually going to alter it, and I'm going to see if I have small font dies, because I'm going to put dolls on the tag, and maybe even a actual real piece of ribbon instead of the one that's on the stamp. And the same thing with the cup. I paper pieced it. I stamped it out on the Love Story. This is the new Love Story by Prima paper line that I'm using for this whole thing. And I stamped it out on that first and colored it in. And then I cut it again in the metallic gold, and I added the pieces to it. And then I found a box in my shed that I didn't know I had, because years ago we had a party supply store, and it was more of a Hispanic type of store, and the Hispanic people have always done a lot with lace and all that for like weddings, and quinceañeras are really big with us, or with the Hispanics. Not me personally, but a lot of people that I know. And so I had a whole box of lace, and all kinds of lace, and I found this one right here, which I think is so pretty. So I added it to my box. Here's some Prima flowers. Here's a little resin piece. And then on the spine, this piece of lace we got from Miss, I think her name is Cheryl, and she is Gemzile on YouTube. And she, in this last swap we just had with Tamika, she had gifted us some of this trim, and I thought it was only in gold, but when I opened it up to use it, it's actually a piece of gold and a silver one. So it's the exact same lace, but one is trimmed in gold and one is in silver. So thank you very much for that, Miss Cheryl. I am putting your lace to good use. And let me see, I was trying to use things that were in our swap. Okay, the box had a hole here where you could insert a picture or anything you wanted. So I just used one of the little cards from the, I think it was the 4x6 little journaling pad from the Prima Love Story. And there's one that says Love Story. So that's the one I cut up to go in there. But before I did that, I made it into a shaker. So let me see. So you can see that it is a shaker. Because of the depth in between the top layer and the inside, it gave me a little room. So all I did was put a little piece of clear acetate behind where the little flap opens to insert the picture, and I let that dry. And then on this outer side, I poured in the sequins and put another clear piece of acetate on top. And you can notice it a little bit right here, but it's not real obvious. The clock and the flowers and all that cover it up. And of course, I could probably add another flower vine here and it would cover it up completely. But it's not to the point where it's that noticeable or that it bothers me that much. So anyway, this is the box. I'm going to show you the front. originally this was the doll that I was going to put on the front up here because she had cut out little paper dolls. And I ended up going with the one in the cup. And here's that stamp I was telling you about, May Your Cup Runneth Over. So here's again, the Prima paper, Love Story, and I added some doilies. And the paper wasn't long enough because I didn't have the 12 by 12. I had the A4 size, which I think is like a little under 8.5 wide. So I had to add that extra piece. Well, because I wasn't going to use this anymore in the front, I just cut it in half and, cut it to size and put a half on top and half on the bottom. And it's perfect because she's got those little paper dolls cut out right there. So, and I did the sides as well. The other side is exactly like this. So I'm just going to show you quickly. And then the inside, when you open up the inside, it does have a divider here. And I covered that in paper, but I'm not going to cover the insides because this had already had some kind of lace going on. And it was like an ivory color, and it goes with the paper line. So when you open it up completely, this flap opens up for storage as well. So there's the piece where, right here is where I opened this up and added the acetate to make it into a shaker. So after that, you're able to, and the reason I put 2 acetates, one on the bottom and one on top, was I wanted her to be able to still put a photo in here if she wanted to. So all she has to do is open this up and flip this open, and there's the window. And there's the card that is in it. She can replace it. And it's just a little piece that I have in there that says Love Story. So I'm going to close that back up and she'll be able to use that. So I wasn't able to paper piece anything on here because I want this to be functional. And this is where I'm going to store all her goodies. I'm not going to show you what I'm gifting her as far as what I'm buying to gift her because I don't want her to see. So no peeking, Miss Caroline, unless you absolutely have to, because I'm like that. I will totally do that. So the door here does have magnets in it. And when you close it, it will hold, but it also has this ribbon. And because I'm going to put, what I put in here might be a little weighty, so I'm glad that this has this ribbon to hold it. And of course, again, here are the 2 dividers. And I'm going to close that up. Now I'm going to show you one of the embellishments that I have done so far. I'm not going to show you my tag book. Look at my desk, guys. That's how I work. Isn't that horrible? There's no room for anything. Like, I'm pushing things aside, and then when I need it, I know I had it up here somewhere, and I'm digging through my piles of stuff. I'm not going to call it junk because to me it's not junk. So I'm going to just leave this here and slide it back to cover up my mess, hopefully. And I'm going to show you, I wanted to do embellishments that didn't come with a paper line, but will coordinate well with the name of the paper line. So I made her the little love letter bundles like I did for Miss Tamika. The only difference with these, I put a piece of gold metallic doily in the back, and this is that little this die is by Cherry Lynn, and it's Sophia's Heart mini doily. So this is the one I used. Let me give you a really close up. So because this had love metallic on top, I put the piece down here, and I did the opposite here because the love was at the bottom on this bundle, so I put it on top. And I'm going to show you a topper that I made to go on this bag, and I wasn't really going to do toppers, and but I said, let me give it a shot. So, but after I put it on here, it was too tall to fit in the box, and not if I'm putting it the long way like this in that a secret compartment. But that's not what I want to put in there. I want when she opens the box to see all the pretty embellishments on the bottom when the first look that she gets in the box. So I'll show you the topper that I made. I made this topper to go on the bag. And this is the same teapot that is on the front of the box. But I made it to, I kind of pieced it together. I had to cut this one little flap and score it down the middle and then cut this piece again and adhere it to the top to make the topper for the bag. But it's too tall. It's not going to work. I might use it on smaller things, but on this particular package with the love letters, it's not going to fit. And I am going to add some, I I'm going to see if I can come up with more embellishments having to do with a love story type paper, but it's all going to be shabby. And when I say shabby, like, I don't really rough up the paper or anything like that, because you guys have heard me say before, I have trouble with that because I think it's so pretty and I hate to mess it up. And even to use gesso or anything like that, I mean, it costs me to do something like that because I think the paper is so pretty and I don't want to cover anything up with any kind of paint. But I'm going to work on that, like I said I was. And, but anyway, so far, this is all that I have left, that I have done. And I've still got a long way to go, but this is the beginning of it. And for me, you know, the packaging, the housing for everything, I wanted that to make a big statement. And Miss Carolyn, I hope you like it. I hope that this is what you mean by this is your style. And I know whatever you create is going to be beautiful, but you know, this is what I created for you, with you in mind. And I want to thank you for asking me to be in the swap with you. This is the first time anybody's asked me to be in a swap, you know, a one-to-one, other than when I sign up with Miss Tamika. So this is my first one-to-one swap, guys. So I hope you like what I created, and I hope this inspires you and gives you ideas. You know, look around in your local thrift stores and Goodwills and stuff like that. I'm always going and collecting different types of boxes and just different things to create, you know, and alter, because a lot of times when you go in there, you find things that are new that people didn't even use at all, for like this box, for example. And I have another project, and it's part new and part Goodwill. And you're going to, I'll show it to you when I get done with it, but it was an awesome find as well. So here it is, guys. Y'all have a good day. Bye. Thanks for watching.